Hey everybody, it's Ryno, and there's Pete, and Craig, and Charles, and
Oliver.
I saved the worst for last. I'm just
kidding.
kidding.
You mean yourself, right? Have you said your own name yet?
We're here inside the new Planet Hollywood. It's interesting. Oliver, first thoughts?
I never went in the Planet Hollywood before it changed to this, so I'm actually kind of took back by the size. I didn't realise there was 3 levels like this. So yeah, it's big. It's a good use of space as well, and I do love the projection up on the wall. That is absolutely amazing. So
yeah, and that's different because before, well, it's all themed. I think that's supposed to be the inside of the observatory or whatever. The observatory. I can't say the word right now. I've been around you too much. So, Charles, first impressions on here on the inside. Have you been to the old one before or no?
A long time ago, I believe. There's a lot of external stimuli here, like my brain is about to explode. I don't know whether that's conducive to me eating a bunch, but we'll find out.
Man, you definitely had never been to the other one then, because there were like, the difference between this one and the other one is like the props, like you can see behind me here, here's the Riddler costume from Batman Forever. It's nice, it's presented here. Before it was like plastered with like celebrity faces everywhere, stuff hanging, the projections.
And the music and the projection combo.
It's a little louder than it was when I was here the other day too, so there's that. But I'm gonna move over to Craig and see what he feels.
It is way too loud in here.
what did you say?
It's way too loud in here.
He was making a joke.
It is definite. It's not as much visual diarrhea as it used to be in here. It's a little bit cleaner, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, it hurts my ears.
I'm still forming an opinion. It's definitely cleaner, design-wise, than the last one, but I don't know. I'm not getting I don't know what the vibe is. It's kind of weird. It's disjointed. I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think my feelings about the place are going to be informed largely on the quality of the food.
So for our appetizer, we got the High Roller Sampler. It says it serves 4, but it looks like it could serve much more than that. Which includes their famous chicken crunch, the Texas tostados, buffalo wings, 5 cheese dip, and peri-peri shrimp. We also got a side of hummus, the hummus trio, that has roasted red pepper and black bean hummus, edamame hummus and roasted garlic hummus, and that comes with herb flatbread. Now the High Roller Sampler was $34.99, a little pricey, and then the hummus trio is $10.99. I'm gonna go around the table and see what everyone thought of them. Okay, Oliver, what did you like on the wheel?
On the wheel, good question. I have tried absolutely everything on there. The shrimp was okay. I'm starting off with my least favorite, probably going to favorite. The shrimp was good, but it definitely wasn't the best thing on the wheel. The wings also were not bad. I've had better wings, but they're not known for their wings here. Outstandingly, really, really good with this stuff here. It was absolutely fantastic. Can you remind me what it was, Ryno? I know you just read it out.
Oh yeah, that was the 5 cheese dip.
Oh, this. Honestly, I could put this in a cup with a straw and just go to town. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I'm going to be on the wrong side of history with this one, I can tell, but the chicken crunch, the chicken made with Captain Crunch in its batter, not a fan. That's not something I generally like anyway, though, so, but yeah, it was too sweet.
Heretic.
Yeah, tasted like Captain Crunch and not my thing. Best, I'd probably say the cheese dip or the hummus, just generally, they're really good dips. It kind of reminds me of like what TGI Fridays wants to be when it grows up. It's similar style, but just done better. Most of it was pretty good. The wings were fair, but I've got a high wing standard. So, yeah, it was all right.
I'd actually have to agree with Oliver. I think the standout is the 5 cheese dip. It's very nice, but what would you expect from 5 cheese? And I think probably my least favorite, everything was like really good bar food. My least favorite was probably like the tostada that was on top. It wasn't bad, but it just, it didn't hit right with me. I'm a Mexican snob, so while it wasn't bad, it just wasn't great.
I'm surprised Craig was only okay with the tostada. It was actually my favorite, I think. It wasn't too heavy. It was a nice little crispy shell. And it had on it, let me see here if it says in the menu, because I can also tell you what was in the 5 cheese dip. So the 5 cheese dip had Swiss, mozzarella, provolone, parmesan, and Asiago cheese with spinach, artichoke hearts, and roasted tomato. So that was pretty good. And then the Texas tostada was a barbecue chicken, sauteed onions, blend of cheddar and Monterey Jack cheeses, pico de gallo, and a little bit of sour cream with barbecue sauce. I liked it because it wasn't like, it was nice and crisp and light. I don't know, and I do enjoy the hummus as well. Yeah. Okay, Pete, what do you think your favorite thing was?
Well, clearly it has to. I have to give the nod to the chicken smothered in Captain Crunch. I mean, you can't go wrong. I really enjoyed it. You know, I also thought the 5 cheese was excellent. I was really impressed, honestly, with the hummus. Hummus was delicious. And I'm just not used to using those words in the same sentence with Planet Hollywood, so it's a little unnatural to me right now. But so far, the appetizers I thought were above average. So was the prices, though.
I was going to say, how do you feel about the value for the $34.99 fare?
I think it's definitely on the high side. It's expensive. $35 for 5 samples of appetizers. I mean, granted, nice presentation. I thought it was good. I thought the tostados could have been a little warmer. They were cold when they got out here, but they were still very tasty. Overall, I think it's definitely on the high side, but very good.
Charles, what do you think? What do you think of your burger?
Honestly,
What'd you get, actually? I'm sorry. The mayor of Flavortown.
I got the Mayor of Flavortown, which I'm assuming is an ironic name because you don't really get too much flavor from it. The burger's well done. It's got coleslaw and it's got pastrami, which was the big selling point for me. I love pastrami, but the flavors kind of blend together. You don't really get too much of anything. The burger's a bit well done, but the main gripe that I had with it is the bun is really, really hard. I'm assuming it's
The pretzel bun, right?
The pretzel bun is really, really like hard. I'm assuming it's meant to be that way, but when you bite in, you've got a hard bun, and then you've got like a mush in the center where there's just no flavor in Flavortown, and that makes me sad. So I don't remember what the price tag on this was. I'll look that up, but regardless of it,
$18.99.
yeah, no way this is going towards the $20.
What'd you get for the side? How about that cilantro rice?
I have not had the cilantro rice yet.
Sorry, I'm putting you under the gun here.
It's rice pilaf, kind of tastes like cilantro. It's a decent side, but
Okay.
nothing impressive.
What did you get, Pete?
Okay, I got the double chicken breast, which is, I believe, $21.99. And calling this a double breast is really kind of ridiculous, unless this was the smallest chicken known to man. These 2 breasts combined make 1 normal chicken breast. That being said, very, very good. And of course, I'm saying the word breast, and the 9-year-old that's on the camera holding the phone right now is giggling away like a little schoolgirl. I will say very juicy, very flavorful. Oddly enough, it does have a little bit of the skin left on it. And normally I take that off. That's where the fat is. But I took a bite of it. It was like biting into pure salt. It was so ridiculously over-seasoned. But the breast itself wasn't. It was very, very good. It has a bed of string beans and mashed potatoes on the plate. Mashed potatoes are right. The string beans were cooked to within an inch of their life, and they're smothered in this white gravy. That's, you know, what I was trying to experience here was the least offensive things on the menu. I am on a diet, so I really try to watch what I eat as much as I can. A lot of things on the menu here are not going to fall into that. The appetizer, I thought the hummus was very, very good. The chicken's very good. but this stuff is all really overpriced for what you're getting. But I will say, generally speaking, the dish was good.
Craig, what did you get?
I got the bacon mac and cheeseburger. It is a beef patty topped with macaroni and cheese. I believe a little bit of extra cheese. The whatever they're calling it, the slop or it's lettuce, tomatoes, onions, pickles. I guess that would be like plot. I don't know. And then there are like onion straws on there too. But is there a motorcycle running through here? I'm very confused about what's happening. But lots of noises. Overall, it's really not that bad. I know that's not complimenting it. The burger, I like a burger more medium than anything else, and this is definitely well done. And the only other thing I'd say about it is it's lacking the cheese flavor. It's got a lot of cheese on there, I can see it, but the cheese just isn't coming out. As well as the donkey sauce. I forgot about donkey sauce. There's donkey sauce on there, but
donkey did on that burger, right?
I don't want to know what the donkey did, but yeah, it's just, I feel like it all comes together.
Oh yeah.
Terrible on camera bite,
Oh, that's dandy.
but it's just missing some flavors. I was hoping for a little bit more. It came with the fries three ways, which this is all that's left of my waffle fries. So, and then it comes with your standard fry, and then it comes with this fun like little twist. And the fries are actually really good. They are seasoned with kind of like a barbecue style seasoning. Really delicious. And they didn't serve you too many fries. So while the portion seems small, it's actually the perfect portion size. $18.99. Probably wouldn't get it again, but it's not doing me wrong this time.
So, I went for the LA lasagna, which it doesn't look like lasagna. It's a different take on lasagna. So, Guy Fieri did a job on this, but it's not too bad overall. So, inside the lasagna tubes, they are filled with ricotta cheese and with bolognese meat. So, let me cut it open for you just so you can see what's going on inside there. There we go. So, the tubes themselves are pretty good. Very good, thank you. It's very good. The flavors are balanced pretty well, but they are definitely on the lighter side. It does need a little bit more seasoning, which is ironic because Pete said his was over-seasoned. All the flavor in this dish is actually coming from the two sauces. It's surrounded by this awesome red sauce, which is just a tomato and basil sauce, or a basil, depending on how you say it.
It's tomato.
Tomato and basil. There you go. But the white sauce is pretty cool too. That is a garlic cream.
Oh, I thought that was cheese.
No, this is a garlic cream. All the cheese is inside. So this is, and it's really good. This gives the whole dish its flavor. So you really have to mix it in there. It's $19.99, so it is on the higher price point. I'd say if I would be happy eating this again, but only if I was paying a bit. Something maybe in the $13.99, $14.99 region. $19.99 is definitely way too high, but it's good. It's good overall.
So I got the grouper in parchment paper, $28.99, a little on the pricey side. It's grouper filet, sliced citrus, red potatoes, and green beans, perfectly cooked in a parchment bag, in parchment paper, but it's clearly like a bag or something. Well, I guess this is paper, and then they rolled it up. Now my hands are sticky. It's like when they were cutting it open, I was like, oh, why do they do that? And they were like, it seals in all the flavor. It's not very flavorful. It's cooked fine. It's all cooked just fine, but it's just straight fish. There's not really a lot of seasoning on it. I mean, like if you rub a little bit of the orange or lime or anything on the fish, you can taste it more, obviously, but I don't know. It's not bad. It's good. Like, I actually don't feel terrible about myself eating this, but it's also like almost $30 for this dish. I don't think so. It seems like everything's a little overpriced. And before I forget, one of the things I'm noticing too about the menu, nothing really has any fun movie names anymore. Oliver keeps saying he got the LA lasagna, and I thought it would have been fun if that was called like the La La Land lasagna, or like they used to have things like Mighty Morphin margaritas, and now it's all, the drinks are kind of themed to fit the fact that this is an observatory, but there's still like movie props everywhere, so it's all a little weird. But anyway, the grouper, it's good. If you don't care how much your meal is, I'd recommend it.
We got two different desserts. We got the brownie cheesecake star jar for $8.99, and then we got the strawberry Big Bang for $14, and that one is one of their supernova shakes. I feel like a moron having to name off any of these desserts. I will speak on behalf of the strawberry Big Bang, since that was one of the things I was pushing for. Obviously, we have to make the comparison to Twosome Chocolate Emporium over at Universal, because they are also doing ridiculous milkshakes in mason jars. While I don't know, like this, at the end of the day, it did have a piece of cake on it, and it has your lollipop coming out of the top, but it's just a strawberry shake. And while it's a good shake, it's just kind of boring, and the piece of cake that was on top was either too frozen or too stale. And for $14, it is just way overpriced. And you know, I would pay probably like $8 for it. So it's meh.
I want to point this out because when Craig compares it to the Twosome milkshake, on the side of this, these white chocolate and the sprinkles and everything, that's being held on by, Oliver compared it to the stuff you fill holes in a wall with. Whereas that Twosome, that's whipped cream. Like, you can eat every single part of the milkshake that comes out to you there. So I think that Twosome definitely has the edge over making the better, more exotic milkshakes. But I know, exotic whipped cream, but whatever.
Oliver, what was your favorite dessert?
I was definitely on the strawberry shake train just because it looked so impressive to start off with, and it does. When they brought it to the table, it looks impressive. And I don't want to reiterate what you said, but when you're comparing it to Twosomes, like, this just looks good. It's actually not that practical. You can't really dig into it, and the shake itself is just average. I was actually incredibly impressed by this. The star jar brownie surprise cheesecake brownie cheesecake star jar. Yeah, it certainly wasn't as pleasing to look at, but the flavors were really good. Even though Pete did point this out, you don't get that much of a brownie in there. It's actually just a lot of ice cream, but the ice cream was still really good. So yeah.
Well, some interesting phrases have been bantered at the table to describe these things. I refer to the entire dessert menu as unapologetically offensive. And that everything comes with a complimentary insulin pump. I've never seen a dessert menu this blatantly offensive. I mean, just ridiculous. Like, don't ask for a bowl of ice cream here, because you're gonna get something like this.
Well, they don't have it.
We don't have it. Charles, I have to give credit where credit is due. The strawberry shake, he said, looked like someone pureed a circus clown, which tickled me quite a bit. And, you know, it was okay. Is it worth $15? Not on any day is it worth $15. This was the brownie thing was remarkably disappointing. A lot of empty gaps in there that should have been filled by brownie. There was like one little chunk of brownie in there. And where the cheesecake part comes in, I'm not quite sure. There was nothing cheesecake about it. The ice cream on it was good, but yeah, no, I'm not impressed.
Charles, what did you think of the desserts? Did you have any of them?
Yes, I had some of both of them, and they were not as extreme as Guy Fieri led me to believe. Both of them, the presentation was all crazy, and I'm not a health nut. I mean, like, I like the idea of, like, let's just throw everything on it and just, but it just wasn't that impressive. Like Craig mentioned, the strawberry shake is just a strawberry shake. It's there wasn't any unique new flavors.
It's like they had to charge $14 because Twosome charges that much money for their shakes, so they were like, they're just as good.
Yeah, and the birthday cake aspect of it wasn't well thought out. First of all, the birthday cake wasn't very good, which makes sense because it's got to be kind of firm to sit on top of a mason jar.
Yeah.
You can't have a nice, soft, moist birthday cake sit on top of a mason jar. So it's all about looking crazy and wacky and extreme, but not actually tasting that different from the, garden variety strawberry or chocolate shake. So, yeah, just not impressed. Definitely not for the price.
All right, so we are done with our meal at Planet Hollywood, and just initial wrap-up impressions while we stare into the face of the sun here.
Yeah, really. Let me just say that we did the big appetizer sampler, which was about $35. We did the hummus plate, which I believe was $12. We all had entrees, and we ordered 2 desserts. Total for 5 people, no alcohol, no discounts, $212. So that puts it about $40 a person for lunch. Which is definitely on the high side. There are certainly more expensive places to eat. There were also better places to eat. It wasn't bad. I don't think it was bad. I thought it was kind of a mixed bag. What I had was good. I enjoyed it. I would absolutely eat there again. Would I go out of my way to eat there again? Probably not. But I wouldn't turn it down either.
I think that's a really good way of wording it. I think it is a little higher price, but I think back to the original Planet Hollywood, and if I had a friend who came in from out of town and they were like, "Let's go here," I would talk them out of it. I'd be like,
"Yeah, no,
this but this one I'd be okay coming to me."
A really good point there. This is so much better than what Planet Hollywood was before. No question about that. If I'm comparing it to that, this place is Michelin star.
Yeah.
But in comparison to what's available here, especially at Disney Springs, you have a lot of really good options here. This kind of fills a different end of the market, whereas it tends to be very expensive here to eat. Everything's kind of event dining, and this is more, I think, on the.
I don't want to say but Charles had it worded earlier about it being like a grown-up Fridays.
This is what TGI Fridays wants to be when it grows up.
Right,
Yeah.
and that I think is kind of the nail on the head, pretty much, because it's got that Fridays kind of vibe to it almost.
It does,
but just a little bit of an elevated theme.
Definitely done better, no question.
Yeah, and
Everything was, one of the things that did impress me, everything was fresh. Whether you liked how it was prepared or not, everything was fresh. It didn't feel like things were thought out and reheated or anything like that.
No, and
everything felt freshly prepared.
They're just open too. They've only been open for a couple of days, so they don't have there's a couple props missing here and there. I mean, they struggled to get open right on time, but I don't think that necessarily showed in the food.
Honest to God, well, from the standpoint of service, the facility, the food, you would never know they just opened. So the staff has been really well trained.
Yeah.
I thought the service was very good. She was very sweet.
They're very attentive.
Everybody was really nice, clearly very excited about their restaurant.
Yeah.
So, there's no indication here walking in. If you didn't know, you would never know from the food or the service that the place had just opened. So I give them high marks on that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Anybody else have anything to add?
Oh, they all
Okay, there's
disappeared.
nobody behind me except for Charles. Charles, do you have anything to add or anything that we missed or anything?
Yeah, I'm.
Okay.
I was not pleased or impressed. I get the concept that they were going for, just this crazy let's go for broke, anything goes kind of stuff. I like that if it's well done, but I did not feel that it was really great. Like the entree that I got is almost exactly the same as an entree that I get at another restaurant often enough. And that costs half as much.
Yeah.
It is way better done, or more. Yeah, it's better done.
Yeah.
So, I feel like if Planet Hollywood Observatory was a person, it would be that friend of a friend who gets invited to the party, right? And everybody's like, "Oh, this is going to be good. Something crazy and wacky always happens when they show up."
And they kind of just sit in the corner.
Yeah,
the whole
it's
time.
they're sticking their head in the fishbowl, and they're like, "That was funny the first time, but it's actually not that good."
I see what you're saying.
It's like a big build-up on the menu, but it's a letdown. And the entire time, from the menus to the windows, Guy Fieri is staring at you, just
From the
daring
windows
you.
to the floor.
From the windows to the wall.
Oh, from the windows to the wall.
Yeah,
There it is.
Guy Fieri's just staring at you, daring you. Eat more of my food. Eat it
yeah.
now. And after my meal, it now is kind of creepy and offensive. I don't want to see that face anywhere for at least a few hours.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that the vibe I got from this for sure is that it's like a party place. It's a place you go if you have. It seems to me like maybe somebody's out of town and they're like, where we've got to go? We got to go to Planet Hollywood. We've got to get that giant fishbowl drink and share it between us. We've got to go get one of those crazy milkshakes. We've got to do this. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll get some apps. This isn't a place that you're like, oh, you just graduated school. Let's go. You know, let's go here. It's more like oh, you're having a birthday party situation.
And there is one thing with the decor too. Like we were all sitting down on the bottom floor with everything above. The music was really pumping and it was jarring. And you've got the projector above you. When we went up to the second floor, the projector is at your level and the music is kind of pumping into the main room. So if you're sitting at the booths or anything, it's not as oppressive.
That's a good
It
tip.
actually is kind of cool. So if you go there, make sure you get on the
try
second
and go
floor.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, the third floor wasn't open when we went there, but the second floor, completely different vibe than the jarring, like, noise machine first floor that we were at.
Yeah, and a note on that too, there is an outside area that's separate from the restaurant. It's its own little lounge. It's called like Stargazers Lounge. We'll do a separate vlog about that because it's kind of, they don't have appetizers out there though, so don't go there expecting appetizers and drinks. It's only drinks, but it's got a really nice view of the bridge that goes over from here to town center. So another area. It offers more than it used to. I would have really enjoyed sitting out on the patio up there, but for another time. So it you know, I know Charles had the least desirable of anybody's experience. I thought it was okay. I wouldn't give it bad. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10 maybe. I've had a lot worse, and I shouldn't say worse because I didn't have anything that was necessarily bad at all. You, on the other hand, did have stuff that just you didn't like your choices, you know, and they weren't prepared
they dropped
well.
the ball on my entree.
Yeah,
that was the main thing. The other ones were passable. The entree, they just didn't do a good job.
Yeah, and so we've lost Oliver and Craig, or I'd give you their tips too, but they seem to have been pretty. They enjoyed it enough. So they're really far away. Sorry, they're filming the overview for this. So that's that. If you've been to the new Planet Hollywood, I'd love to hear your feedback. Leave it in the comments. Let us know what you thought. Be sure to get up, walk around, check out all the props that they have to offer in there. Some I don't really remember anything standing out that was here before. If you're looking for the Hocus Pocus statue, like somebody was, it's not in there, at least not yet. There's still a lot of space for new stuff to go in, so you know, there's probably lots to come. So let us know what you guys thought. Comments below. We'll see you later.